This is Hot Mike.
Hot Mike.
On the networks of WDAY.
WDAY.
Here's Dom Izzo. It's that time. An author.
Offensive production, number 1. Number 2. I forgot.
Golfer.
It'd be like going on a 3-person best shot, and we were saying, Kolpack, you got to make a 25-footer every time. You wouldn't putt first. I'd have Tim putt first.
And one heck of a TV personality.
This game is for the Cooper Cup.
It's the Forum's Jeff Kolpack.
4! I should have yelled 2.
All right, our guy Jeff Kolpack joins us each and every Monday. His appearances are brought to us by Northwestern Mutual. Last week you came up here, your feet were up. Prediction king. I know everything about what's going on. Ready to rub that. How many people came up to me on the sidelines in the fourth quarter like, oh, what are Kolpack thinking?
No longer Nostradamus am I. No longer. Lasted one whole week.
You know what? That's the best part about going out on a limb and making a pick.
Well, sometimes you got to pick an upset. I took the email bashings on the way home as Mike was driving, appropriately so.
Yeah.
But that's the first time they've looked like that offensively in Brookings, and that's not even close.
No.
They never have had a drive that was 84 yards in 12 plays that took 9 minutes. The previous long drive, in looking up, was in 2007 that went for a touchdown. It was I had it in the story. I can't remember. But it had been that long since they –
the only time I've seen them play like that, 2011, they won 38-14. The Bison won.
That was here, though.
No, that game was in Brookings.
No?
Yes, 2011. That was my first trip to Brookings. Was 38-14. And that was more defensive and running the ball. They weren't as offensively dominant as they were, I thought, Saturday night for what they did. But that was, it was 31-7 at halftime. And I'm looking at myself like, this is over.
When I made the pick, it was on Tuesday when they have to be in, and I thought Mason was going to play.
So let's start there because I have a beef on that. So I'm on the field, obviously, because we're not doing the game. And we're all, the Bison staff, everybody is waiting to see who's going to come out. And obviously Luke Marble comes out. Mason doesn't come out at all for warm-ups. And all the Bison, the GAs, and they're all writing it down. He comes out in a boot. He came out in a boot, Kolpack. That I have a massive problem with Dan Jackson saying he's day-to-day. He had no intention of playing this week. It's 2025. We have injury reports going out in the major conferences. Stop this baloney. Just say it. He's not playing this. The whole subterfuge thing is so dumb in 2025. I don't get it.
Even talking to one of the Bison defensive assistants, they thought he would give it a shot.
Yeah,
and I'm talking
we all did.
Minutes before they came out on
Carlton
warm-ups.
Littlejohn standing right next to me and looking like waiting for him to come out and play. And he didn't. He came out in that. That just to me it's asinine. I don't understand it. Like, what was to be gained from that? That they were somehow going to trick NDSU into that this wasn't going to happen?
Well, evidently it didn't work.
No. And if you're in a boot, you're not playing next week either. I don't think there's any. And why would he? Frankly, it's Indiana State. That if the Jackrabbits can't beat him with Marble or Jack Henry, whoever's going to be the quarterback, then they got bigger issues than worrying about the Bison. Frankly, in my mind, that to me, I just didn't understand it.
I see your point. And are more coaches forthright in the NCAA football in doing that, or is this still going on?
Now they have to be at the biggest, like the Big Ten, SEC, ACC, SEC. They have injury reports now, and that's a whole other deal because it relates to gambling and the amount of money that's being spent there. To me, let's go. Get on board. It's 2025. Say the guy's questionable. You know what policy, and I'll give him credit for this, and this is not me kissing up to him. He'll tell us on Tuesday.
Yep.
He'll say he's doubtful.
He brings it.
Right.
He writes it down.
Questionable.
Yep.
Or he has a good chance to play. So when we come to Saturday, there's no, whoa, that guy's not playing? I had no idea. No, that does not happen. I'll give him the nod on that. We're never left. And I guess, for the SDSU insiders to say, well, yeah, we knew he wasn't going to play. How did you know that? Because Jackson wasn't saying until
Mike's calm, and
that's what I was going to go
tipped
to
off
next.
Thamel?
Correct, because Pete Thamel's stories. We're getting ready for Bison game day.
Who does he have connection with at South Dakota
Saturday
State?
Morning. Well, I'd imagine
the head coach,
an agent, correct,
or
the
agent.
agent of the head coach to say, hey, you want to get this out there on Saturday morning at 9:00 that there's a good chance maybe our starting quarterback isn't going to play. Well, come on, just I just don't get it. Maybe I'm being pie in the sky guy, but it's 2025. So you can say if the guy's going to play or not. You know what I mean? Like, literally, I could give you the entire playbook. You wouldn't know what to do with it. I wouldn't either.
Oh, God.
You know?
You could give me the playbook and explain what's in the playbook.
Right?
And try to make it in layman's terms, and I still really wouldn't know.
Don't get it. All right.
Okay.
Let's start with the drive. 16 plays, 84 yards after the Bison get a 3-and-out. And Polisic, actually, I could hear the conversation he was having with Randy Hedberg about what they wanted to do, whether to start with a crowd or take the win. They started obviously right by the SDSU student section after they forced a 3-and-out. And we're going to show you all 16 plays, Jeffrey. It was a thing of beauty how they started this football game.
Well, let's see it.
All right, Eric,
Yeah,
let's roll
let's
it. So they started off, pounding the football with Barika Penu and DJ Scott. First play there. Goes for 6.
This was the best sequence of running plays by the running backs in this drive.
Peyton goes
and DJ
rolls
Scott
out.
got a lot of work early for the first time this year.
Another play here to Barika out of the backfield. Picks up 4 there. Again, the time that Cole had. Steps and throws, hits Bryce for a first down. And we'll talk about Bryce Lance in a second because he was unstoppable. Here's play number 6. Barika right up the gut, gets a couple. SDSU's run defense, I thought, got more stout as the day went along, but this one to Raj. We talked about how big he was in the game last year. And he was not shy about talking. And Cole scrambles here. It's just methodically down the field. Another one. Here's DJ Scott you were talking about. This one was his first game breaker that he got there for DJ Scott. He gets 11. Next play here. Now they're at the Jack 32. Goes for 6. They're not stopping him at the line of scrimmage. This was the first time after that he went for 1. Then, here, Barika goes up the gut there. Got about 2. This is the first time now that the Jacks fired any resistance. Now Barika, this was for 10. Just every time down the field. Now they're at the 20-yard line. Got down to the 10. This one for 7 for Barika. That was first and goal. Now it's second down and goal. Peyton takes it here. I thought he was going to get in. Gets down to the 1. This one, I'm still not convinced he wasn't in. I thought he stretched out of the goal line. They said he was short on 3rd and goal. So it's 4th and goal from the 1. There was no hesitation. Peyton gets in, touchdown. 16 plays, 84-yard drive, results in a 7-0 lead.
Seems similar to something we saw in 2013, although that was late in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Kansas State.
Yep. So
I believe that was 16 plays, was it not? 80 yards?
18. It was 18
plays, 80 yards, 9 minutes.
So the clock, the Bison got the ball with 14:11 to go in the first quarter. They kicked it on. They gave it to the Jacks with 5:11. Little 9-minute drive that goes 16 plays, 84 yards. And then the crowd was instantly out of it. And what happened after that? The Jacks went 3-and-out. Bison got the ball, went right down the field, and scored again.
Again, if Chase Mason is there, do they go 3-and-out every time, the first 2-3 times? So that may have changed the narrative a little bit, but it wouldn't have changed the game narrative.
How much is he good for? 10, 14
points?
points?
I heard you say that.
So what's the score then? 38-21 then we're talking? It's still a decisive Bison victory in that because last I checked, Mason doesn't play defense, and that was the thing that was stunning to me. Like, the Jackrabbits defensively have been super stout the last handful of years.
But my point is they score, then when you go 3-and-out, your defense doesn't get a chance to rest at all.
Correct. But to me, that was the thing. You gave the check mark to the Jack defensive line. They got pushed around on Saturday night. The Bison O-line was really, really good. I thought, and again, Polisic said afterwards he wasn't thrilled with how, because I think as the game went along, SDSU firmed up defensively up front, that the holes weren't there. But, whatever NDSU wanted, they got Saturday night in my mind.
Yeah. Cole Payton, how he is not Offensive Player of the Year or the week in FCS is a little of a mystery, but the Bison, I guess the Bison got the Team of the Week by Craig.
Well, today, you know what's more important to Cole? The Senior Bowl came out with a guy that's stock up. Cole Payton's on that list because that's a conversation.
Now he is an NFL. That makes him an NFL prospect.
Correct, That's
right
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The 4 NFL scouts that were next to me on the sideline are looking at this guy, and now obviously if the Senior Bowl has caught attention to that. Now we're going to have a conversation, not just about Bryce Lance, about February, March, April. We're going to be about this guy, too. about what his potential could be at the next level.
Yeah, still number one in passing efficiency. Just continues, and he's doing it in the big stage too. This is not Murray State. This is not Indiana State.
No.
He's doing it against these
SEMO,
nationally ranked
right.
teams, and on the road too.
I want to ask you something about this because I got 2 emails, and we're going to go into your 3 stars. South Dakota State's offensive strategy to start the second half. Can you explain that to me? Because I have no idea what they were doing. Deliberately running the football. There was no
hurry up.
No, there was no essence of, hey, we got to go. Like, they were trying to establish the run here. It's 31-7. What is happening?
Well, maybe they're just trying to reestablish some sort of.
But you got to go
control,
here, right?
well.
Because you know full well what the Bison are going to do with the football, that they're going to be deliberate with it, there was no sense of urgency, Jeffrey. I didn't get that at all, what they were doing in the second half of the game.
I don't have that answer. I don't know.
It was just, that to me was quizzical on, I don't know. If you're trying to win, it seemed like they called off the dogs kind of early to me. I don't know what they were doing offensively trying to get back into that game.
They have a guy who probably has trouble throwing against that defense, and so you got to try to establish something. And just not real confident that the backup could throw against NDSU. You got to try to do something.
I know, but it's not like it was 31-7. In the 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, like that was. Yeah. And look, the play-by-play here to start the second half for SDSU, what they got, rush. They threw the ball once on that drive before they ended up having a. And that was with 10:27 to go. That was after Peyton's pass was picked, right? So I'm like, all right, it's 31-7. Here we go. We got 10 minutes to go. We got a ton of football left.
Well, and this came on one day before Goddard and Kraft scored touchdowns on Sunday. They just don't have those athletes that they did, or those NFL guys that I didn't see. Ogrovsky's a really good receiver.
Yep,
I think he has a chance.
He got hurt during the game.
But he's athletically, I think, can rank up there.
Do they have those kind of guys? No. They still have talented players.
Yes.
That, to me, they didn't get the ball to any of them,
But they didn't have the Tucker Kraft guy. They didn't. I didn't see that guy.
Frankly, they don't have the offensive line like they had in the past either.
And it's hard. They got guys in the NFL.
Yep. And they lost guys in the portal. I get it. But to me, the offensive strategies, I guess, is what I'll harp on. I didn't understand that. All right, let's do your 3 stars here. What you got for this weekend.
Did I do my 3 starting from the bottom up?
You do it however you want. It's your segment.
Well, let's go number 3. I said the Bison linebackers, and I'm doing that as a position group because I couldn't distinguish one from the other. But all 3, they led the team in tackles, 1, 2, 3. And as Tim Pausick said, they were gap sound. They just controlled that. You remember, who was it? Was it second play of the game, Pierre Strong, when he broke that long run.
2021,
second
play of the game.
That was a gap problem.
Yeah.
They didn't have that issue this time around. And so that was a big, especially early in the game. I thought the linebackers were tremendous.
I thought Kopp was great. Thought Staling was huge. I thought Donovan Williams was flying around the field. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so second star, Bryce Lance, that first half was an NFL guy. And especially on third down, and especially that back shoulder throw that was like 3rd and 12. And, there's one of the early ones. He almost broke it. But
he was upset he didn't break it.
I'm hoping we have that 3rd and 12.
It's the next one right here.
Okay, watch this. I mean, that's pretty well covered.
There's 2 guys there.
Yeah.
He zipped it into his helmet. Is the only place he could catch it. So 5 for 103. Kolpack's just marveling at the play here. You're supposed to be talking here.
Well, and you mentioned that, the one guy we didn't talk about all week, really, was number 5.
No. And I'm not quite sure how we missed that or who missed that, but he was pretty darn good. All right, number 1.
Well, obviously Cole Payton, the total yardage, both running and passing. The interception was, it was down to the 1 yard line. It was like a punt. But, God, he was just such in control again. And the speed and the ability to just make plays, I almost thought he scored there.
I think he took off just a little too early on that one. That's a brilliant pass. Gary Kessel making another play down the field.
And he's throwing so well over the middle. And that's one thing we didn't really see. Well, we didn't see a lot of throwing coming into this season. But that's the mark of a really good quarterback is, and that's how Cam Miller got better as he got older, is can you throw the ball over the middle and see the coverages?
Yep.
And he's obviously doing that at a very high level.
And the point now where, I mean, you got to pick your poison now on how you want to stop this guy. If you want to say, okay, we're going to make him throw, all right, well, he's got this group of wide receivers.
Southeast Missouri tried to do that early.
Or say, okay, we're going to try and, get him out of the pocket. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out for you when he's faster than pretty much any linebacker or defensive back on the field.
And bigger in a lot of cases.
Certainly that as well. All right, we'll break. We come back. We got a bunch of emails to get to. Get Jeff's thoughts on that. Look ahead. The Bison have a fairly athletic quarterback they got to face this week in Youngstown State's Bo Brungar. That's coming up. We come back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Much more with Jeff Kolpack here. All right, we got a bunch of emails coming in. You ready to take on these?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Let's go.
They're ready to talk to you, man. This is our, of all the segments we have, you know what's our highest rated one? Right now. I'm not saying that because you're here, man. So
all right.
You got low energy. Let's go. Come on.
It's a long weekend. 2 days in
man.
Brookings.
It was 2 days ago. Let's go. I had 2 hours of sleep. I'm here. Let's go.
All right.
Dom and Jeff, is USD a possible trap game for UND this weekend, or do we have no faith in South Dakota now? Is Cole Payton alone at the top for the Payton? If Bryce keeps playing like he did Saturday, is it possible to have both on the short list? Lastly, NDSU needs to extend Tim Polasek at least to try to keep him around as long as possible.
Well, the last one, it's not. I mean, no, you can extend them all you want. It's not going to work.
I believe Kleiman got an extension his last year, and that was still.
Well, yeah.
Hey, LSU just opened up.
So as far as the Payton, I think the Robertson QB from Monmouth, I'm going to look into that this week. That's going to be my big story is, okay, who are the candidates here?
I think Jerry Kamitsky up the road at UND is one. I would put him in that list, absolutely, for how he's played. Yep. Robertson was prior to getting hurt. Him missing the last couple games, I think, hurts his candidacy. Bryce could be in the top 5. I don't think, the top 3 get invited to Nashville. I don't, that would be really hard to do.
Well, the fact that Cole has the ball more than Bryce, I think, is a big thing there.
Yep. He could be on, but to answer the emailer's question, on the short list, sure. If the short list is 5, yeah. Lastly, what do you think of that South Dakota UND game in Vermillion?
Oh, absolutely. Well, South Dakota has been this year. It's been really one of the more disappointing teams as far as offensively. Aiden Bauman has not had the year they thought, but he also lost his entire offensive line, so you have to look there.
Yeah, they very well could be 5-7.
UND should win that game.
Yes, UND's never won in Vermillion in the Division I era.
Well,
so
that may end.
I anticipate that. USD could finish 5-7. They really could. They still have UND. They have the Jacks coming next week, and they finish the year at Southern Illinois. That's not a layup game either. They could go from number 4 in the preseason rankings to 5-7.
It'll be interesting because the Big Sky has a lot of teams with 4 losses now, and the Valley tilts that way too. There's going to be a 5-loss team making the playoffs.
At 7-5, yeah. I think we're going to 12 games routinely starting next season. I think we better embrace ourselves for that one. Dom, I was a little surprised. I predicted 31-20 Bison with Mason playing. Once he was ruled out, I thought this was really possible. After the first 3 drives, the score is going to be whatever the Bison wanted it to be.
Yeah, they dialed it down in the second half, certainly. So,
but you know what was interesting about that? I know you're going to write about this, and we're going to have it on TV later this week. And I tweeted about it before the game because I caught wind that true freshman Ryan Babbitts was going to play at left tackle, not guard. At tackle, they moved Bo Johnson inside to left guard, and they moved Griffin Empey to right guard. And Babbitts played 28 snaps during the game and looked the part that this may be the guy going forward, a true freshman at left tackle for the Bison.
Yeah, I have a story I'm going to put up here in about an hour on that. And what Tim said after the game was pretty striking, too, that they got to move the program forward. And it's good coaching because when you're 8-0, you can always mask what you're not doing as well as you think you should. And it's easy to say, okay, we're 8-0, we're just doing what we do, but they're continuing to evaluate what they do. And so I think that's something that is part of a good coaching staff is, it was a big win, but is there anything that could be better?
I reported on this during fall camp. Babbitt started getting first-team reps during week 2 of fall camp, that they were that impressed with him. And I think it was him and Tosta to battle out for that last spot. Yeah. They went with Nate. And again, Polasek said it after the game. This is an indictment on how Nate's playing right now, but they think Nate can be better with less snaps than he's getting. And they think Babbitt's is that good. And I can remember
first true freshman since Billy Turner.
Billy was the last guy as a true freshman to play left tackle. You can end the
How about
conversation
as
there.
an offensive lineman, anywhere as a true freshman?
Zabel was the last to do that during the crazy spring season. He and Mason Miller both got starts when guys went down. So, again, those two guys are in the National Football League. So if we're talking that level of talent, I can tell you this, Jeff. I did the story when he committed. The amount of coaches that reached out to me that I know in the Twin Cities to say this is an absolute steal the Bison got. I'm not sure how NDSU got him. Was the same
Nebraska offered.
The same kind of conversations I was hearing when Billy Turner verbally committed to NDSU.
Nebraska offered. There was, 6-7 FBS offers, 13 in all.
Yeah, there were more going to come,
They got him to commit early June.
Correct.
June.
He was an early commit, so that's something to look forward to going forward on this. Going back to the Chase Mason deal, Don, the Baltimore Ravens are being investigated for doing the same thing this week with Lamar Jackson. If you missed that, Lamar was practicing, at least out on the field, doing stuff. And Eric, if you could look that up for me, I don't know if he was listed as day-to-day or probable questionable, and then he didn't play. They ruled him out on Friday when everything, I think even the betting line went to the Ravens were minus 7.5. Okay, Lamar's coming back, and then he didn't even play in the game. He didn't even suit up, similar to what the Jackrabbits just did. It's not all about, and especially in this day and age of betting, but you cannot do that. You just that to me, it's 2025. Let's get with the times.
At least he was seen practicing, though. Is that right?
Lamar was, yes, correct. My whole point on it with the Mason thing, it's just, just list what's going on. Dom, who cares about Chase Mason? Isn't win that game for SDSU. He's not beaten anybody relevant. I disagree with that. They beat Montana State. Is he a good player? Yes, maybe. But he's not making the difference in that game. The NDSU defense is about as good as ever. Nobody has mentioned the Bison without one of their best defenders in Jackson Dutenheffer, something we talked about in Bison game
Good
day.
point, emailer, yes.
Which Dutenheffer was, I could tell before the game, very emotional. Him and Tim Polisic shared a moment before the game that Polisic got emotional on. Something I'm going to ask tomorrow about that. I think there's a possibility that Dutenheffer plays this week.
Okay.
I think there's a strong indication they're going to see Dutenheffer back on the field maybe as early as Saturday. What was the line, Eric, on the injury report for Lamar?
So, from the Baltimore Ravens Twitter account,
Yep.
There's been an update to Lamar Jackson's Friday practice and game status. Jackson was downgraded from a full practice participant to limited, and he has been ruled out for tomorrow's game versus Chicago.
So he went from thank you, Eric, full participant to not even playing?
But at least they announced it 2 days before the game.
But they have to. That's the rule in the
NFL.
Know. But the other leagues have it. The SEC has it. We could get this, especially if the Missouri Valley considers itself as high up on the totem pole as they do. Then we can make this happen in 2025 or 2026, whatever it is. That would eliminate a lot of the rube speculation about what is happening in the game.
Sometimes I wonder if you just throw it out there on Tuesday, this guy's starting, and the team can just not worry about not telling anybody. Oh, don't tell anybody.
Right.
And just move on with this guy.
I'm in such a favor of the SEC that they did this, and the other leagues have done it as well.
Ran into somebody Friday at the hotel who has a nephew or somebody on the team, offensive lineman, and I go, "Hey, quarterback going to play?" He goes, "Well, I know that answer," and then he left.
And then he walked away. Correct.
Were you there?
I was there. Yes.
He goes.
Yes.
So everybody's just like this, if you just throw it out there that this is the plan moving forward and stop all the tension on it.
We're going to have much more coming up on our Bison video blog on Youngstown State, their first trip to Fargo in 3 years. Last thing before we let you go, we got our high school football rewind coming up. Where do the Jacks go from here? Let's say Mason does come back in a couple weeks when they play USD. So they have Indiana State at home this week. They go to Vermilion. They have Illinois State in Brookings, and then they end the season in Grand Forks.
Yeah, where do they go? You need to establish a better passing game, I think. That's for sure.
I think they established their run game. That, to me, they cannot run the football.
They got one guy, Loffridge.
That's
right. It. Yeah, but if the run game is okay at this point, is it going to get any better?
At that point, I don't know. I mean,
Olkowski's your best athlete.
And he's out. And you don't know how long he's going to be out. And then Chase Van Tol got hurt, their best linebacker, on that opening drive that the Bison had. I don't know if any of these guys, when they come back, that's hard to answer. If they get their horses back, Could we see them make a run like they did in 21, make it all the way to the semis? Sure. But they may have to go the long road in terms of playing 1 to 2 games away from Brookings, and that will be difficult.
The attention now is all shifted to UND.
Yes. And I think fully for NDSU, but I'm not going to count the Jacks out yet, knowing full well that program, but they got some work to do, and they may have to do it with some backups, and that's going to be tough because that's going to test how well, to your point, what you wrote about in your game day feature, how well they use the portal there. Because, the guys that stuck around are starting, but now they may have to use some portal backups if those guys are hurt.
Some backups to the backups
Correct.
from last year. Yes.
Exactly right. Great stuff as always, Bud. We'll see you for the video blog coming up in a little bit.
We will see you.
All right, Jeff Kolpack joins us each and every Monday at 10 o'clock. His appearances are brought to us by Northwestern Mutual. We come back. We will do our high school football rewind, including the game of the year in North Dakota, and the Spuds are rolling on as well. Much more on Hot Mike on this Overreaction Monday after this.